Hello everyone, welcome to the 160 drill class. We're going to start off with the phrase review. Okay, here we go, ready? But the, they are, when will, you can, so many, would you. And here's your paragraph. There have been so many requests for samples of our new product, you cannot believe the volume of email that we've received. When will you be able to help us fill these orders? Would you be free starting Tuesday? You can work with John as a team. Please bring your social security card with you. Everyone but the delivery man has been pitching in to fill these orders. They are working 10-hour days. If you can work, we'll keep you busy. All right. Moving right into some common phrases. And these are all going to start with whether or not. So you're going to use your brief, WHRORN. Okay, and then there's going to be phrases after that. So some of them you will be able to phrase on your machine, but at least phrase all of the whether or nots. Okay, here we go. Whether or not I recall, whether or not I recalled, whether or not I recollect, whether or not I recollected, whether or not I remember, whether or not I remembered, whether or not I shall, whether or not I should, whether or not I understand, whether or not I want, whether or not I wanted, whether or not I was, whether or not I will, whether or not I would, whether or not you are, whether or not you believe, whether or not you believed, whether or not you can, whether or not you could, whether or not you feel, whether or not you felt, whether or not you had, whether or not you have, whether or not you have been, whether or not you have had. Okay. I've got some words that have ed endings, the past form of using the ed. These first set of words you can put in the same stroke, so if you want to you can, or you can come back for final D. It's totally up to you. Here we go. Puffed, gained, aimed, failed, paired, mugged, cried, fried, seemed, dried, mailed, rubbed, named, hoped, stopped, robbed, turned, stunned, packed, filled, snapped, patched, called, matched, wiped, tried, played, smoked, stacked, canned, planned, boiled, wished, fished, crawled, hatched. And then here are your sentences. The dried fruit was stacked in the shed where it was stored. The arrow streaked toward the target but failed to hit the mark. The wolf huffed and puffed as he tried to blow the house down. Now, the next set of words, you have to come back for final D because your finger's already used up somewhere else, whether it be the final T, final Z, that sort of thing. Okay, here we go. Phased, patted, darted, sneezed, faded, headed, wheezed, forced, cheated, spaced, trotted, placed, fitted, buzzed, voiced, salted, parted, started, sliced, matted, raced, kneaded, faced, glanced, pointed, fussed, shouted, sneezed, hissed, boxed, added, seated, kissed, spotted, tested, blessed. And here are your sentences. Mary was not fazed when the fabric faded and she started all over. The horse trotted rapidly when it headed for the barn. He needed the grade but should not have cheated. right. I have some sentences using numbers. Here we go. Ready? The subpoena was delivered 11 days before the trial date. And your brief for subpoena is initial S, final P. Mr. Behrens received a gold watch for his 35 years of service to the electric company. We sent out 225 invitations to the banquet and have received 35 confirmations. Did you request 18 or 80 dozen cases of paper? 17 of the students attended the seminar on CPR. Did you say that 3 of your cousins were graduates of the University of Illinois? 214 people were killed in the crash of United Airlines flight number 93. Stacy purchased 6 cans of tomato juice and 4 cans of grape juice. The bag contained 2 ounces of cocaine. 6,190 people are registered for the fall semester at Valley State College. Were there 5 or 6 students involved in the cheating scandal? 1 person voted no. 1,002 students achieved a grade point average of 3.5 or better. Amanda sent 5 copies of the letter along with her resume to Mr. Brighton. Was your order for 8 or 88 boxes of Kleenex? Right. Moving right into consonant compounds. This is going to focus on initial KW, final GD, final LG. Here we go. The questioning was quick. They had a quarrel over the quote. The quality and the quantity of the drugs are important in this case. Did you quit the quorum? The queen tried to quell the riot. She made a quip about the quilt. We tagged and bagged the merchandise for Mrs. Wells. The rugged men bugged the girl. Ron tugged and lugged on the suitcases. And I'm going to say that last sentence again. The rugged men bugged the girl. Mark was telling her to stop stealing. Were they recalling or appealing the decision? Jake was hauling trash and selling goods to make a living. On Tuesday, they are installing the new ceiling for the Martins. The boys were baling hay and nailing the boards. Do you want to go sailing or bowling on Monday? All right. Moving right into some 160 briefs. We've got beneficial, B-I-S-H-L or B-I-R-B-L, Bishel. Beneficiary, B-I-S-H or B-I-R-B. Biopsy, you have 2 choices, either B-O-P or B-I-O-P. It's up to you. I've seen it both ways. So B-O-P or B-I-O-P. Caucasian, K-A-U-K, cock. Confidential informant, K-O-F-M-T. Confidential informant, K-O-F-M-T. That's a great brief. Okay, that comes in handy. So make sure you practice that one. All right, so I'm going to drill you on these. Here we go. Beneficial, Bishel. Beneficiary, Bish. Biopsy, either bop or boip. Caucasian, K-A-U-K. Confidential informant, K-O-F-M-T. Okay, beneficial, beneficiary, biopsy, Caucasian, confidential informant. biopsy, confidential informant, beneficial, Caucasian, beneficiary, confidential informant, beneficial. Again, if you're still struggling with those, then go back and redo that drill again, okay? All right. Moving on to some phrases that people often say. Doesn't necessarily have to be on your machine, but if it's possible, I encourage you to use those phrases to save strokes. Here we go. Ready? Where he feels, where he felt, where he had, where he is, where he recalled, where he recalls, where he recollected, where he recollects, where he remembered, where he remembers, where he says, where he shall, where he should, where he understands, where he wanted, where he wants, where he was, where he will, where he would, where I am, where I believe, where I believed, where I can, where I cannot, where I could. All right, so some of those, like you can phrase he is, he shall, he was, he will, I am, I can. So hopefully you did that with those. All right, so we're almost out of time. I'm going to give you one more drill before we close up, okay? This is going to be word families that end with ment, okay? Final MT. Shipment, you can do that in one stroke. Department, DEPT. Ailment, confinement. Comment, we can squeeze that, KMENT. Supplement, segment. Compartment, movement. Document, employment, PLOIMT. Adjournment. And here are your sentences. The drug shipment was delivered on Monday. Is the shipment of dishes complete? The document has been entered into evidence. Where is the document? The glove compartment was locked. Does he have a luggage compartment? Ray works for the Department of Health. The department store closes at 9 p.m. Did you see the segment on air travel? What segment of the testimony should we review? The 2012 supplement is at the end of the book. You can supplement your diet with fruits and vegetables. What is her specific ailment? The ailment is undiagnosed. Where is your place of employment? What type of employment are you seeking? Would you like to make a comment? Do you have a comment? After the adjournment, we will pursue this line of questioning. Any sudden movement will rock the boat. The movement was caused by a small earthquake. He is in solitary confinement. Is his confinement in the state prison necessary? All right, so that concludes our drill for the 160 class.